What's going on, gamers? Hopefully, everyone is having a good weekend. I know I am. I'm going to be going to a rock and roll concert here soon to do a report for somebody that had a quadruple bypass. It's going to be all day from like 12 to like 8, so it's going to be very interesting. Definitely looking forward to that. Hopefully, y'all have a great weekend. Now, we have something interesting here. And it's definitely questionable, but then it's also interesting because it's just one of these topics right now that are actually big worldwide when it comes to licenses expiring, deleted accounts, hacked accounts, and not having digital ownership, right? We got an individual who's claiming that his brother lost all his PlayStation 3 content and he hasn't logged into his PlayStation 3 over 10 years. And he wants to boot it up, but when he booted it up, the license are expired and the PSN account is deleted. Now, like I said, there's some things in question here, so we're going to find out how this actually works. Now, at the title, at the top, it says PS3 owner loses downloaded games to expired license and deleted account. And I want you guys to let me know what you actually think about this, because this is actually going to get interesting. As you know, on this channel, we do all types of topics for gaming. We don't just like do a one directional way. We do criticizing on PlayStation, supporting PlayStation. We did supporting on Xbox till Microsoft killed it, and then we criticize Xbox, and we'll criticize Nintendo when we need to as well. They don't have nowhere near as much drama as these two. And then we criticize PC as well, Steam, you know what I mean, the Steam machine, all that type of stuff, AI, RAM. But let's get into this though. Trophy Hunter Rhino, or however the hell you say that, shared his brother's frustration when games already on the PS3 hard drive became inaccessible due to Sony's licensing rules requiring an active account. We know how that works. Same thing will happen in the Xbox world, except you have lesser time. You only have 2 years. On PlayStation, you have 3. And Sony sends you an email and gives you a warning if this happened, right? But if you ain't logged in 10 years, then he's definitely in that ballpark. He says this happened amid a PlayStation Network outage on July 24th through 25th. Kind of interesting, but it's like, would you actually log in and do it during that time and find that out? I don't know. I kind of feel like sometimes too, there's a lot of people online that want to try to prove something to like combat the physical disc ending ownership, which there's nothing wrong with that, but just don't be fake about it. So this happened amid the network outage, July 24th to 25th, 2026. That blocked logins and even some offline play for millions. Then the day before that, Xbox had an offline outage as well. Kind of strange stuff how both of them did that. Sony's policies treat digital purchases as license that can expire or vanish with inactive accounts after 36 months. We read that right. 36 months. Sparking arguments over true ownership as the company shifts towards all digital consoles by 2028. Now, here goes the story right here. And remember, this is up to 4.6 million views, and this happened literally almost a day ago from the moment right now. He says, my brother hasn't turned on his PS3 or used PlayStation Network in over 10 years. Decided to boot up his PS3. Keyword, he hasn't turned on his PS3 or used PSN in over 10 years. Decided to boot up his PS3 to play something that is currently downloaded on the console. Licenses are expired and his PlayStation Network account is deleted or hacked. So games are gone forever. Woo, he says this. 150K people like this because I had to grab it. 4.6 million views right now. Huge topic, right? And then we're going to get to this right here. He says, I ain't no liar, because there's a lot of people basically telling him he's a fraud. He says, I ain't no liar. Here's the proof, right? The interesting thing about this, though, is that he didn't show enough. And the only thing he showed was that the clock has a problem, the battery has a problem, so you could go change that. I would have liked to see him change that and show me something, but he didn't, so it kind of makes it kind of fishy. So here it is right here.
Okay, I did not expect this post to blow up, but a lot of people think I'm lying about this, so I'll make this video to show. So I actually don't blame you guys for thinking I'm lying, because I get it, you know, people online make engagement posts, so the PS3 is on. This is his PS3. He actually brought it here so we can play something on it, because I specifically knew we had a game on it, and we went to play it, so I'm going to turn it on.
Okay. He's got a little bit of echo
I'm just
going
starting
on.
this from scratch so people know there's like I'm turning the console on, I'm not changing any settings. Excuse the mess, by the way, I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay.
All right, any moment. So, we're not signed in. His account isn't available anymore because I don't know. Someone either deleted it. I don't know. I have no idea. I cannot get into it. He cannot get into it. But the point is, these games are downloaded and they're not available. Okay, so let me go here. I'll just go to Crash. Okay, so I verified this game. We never got it through PS Plus. You can see the date on it. Hold on. The date 2010. It showed up for a second, so I'll show it again. 2010. Crash worked. Okay, we bought this. It's downloaded. Look.
But it's telling you to go change the time, bro. Set the time and date. It doesn't say you're banned or anything. And if it was on his account, those are his licenses. You'd have to be sharing with him. And the games wouldn't be there.
We have to connect to the internet or sign into an account, but he does not have his account anymore. I've even tried signing into my account, which these games weren't bought on, and they still don't work. So here's proof.
Then the games will be gone then. If your account is gone, you wouldn't even have the games. How are they still on the PlayStation? This is what kind of makes me believe that this guy is lying, because if my account got banned and I lost access to all my games because the licenses are tied into my account, how do you have the games on the PlayStation? Right? And it's not telling you that you can't play the games. It says this content has a time limit. To perform this operation, go to settings, date, and time. Set via internet to set the time and date. It doesn't say that you can't play the game.
I don't know what else to say.
No. That's not the same, guys. Bro. He says, I don't know why X made it sound like I'm broadcasting down from an alien mothership or whatever. That's pretty funny. He says, it's literally just telling you to enter a valid time and date and connect a console to the internet. Stop lying and freaking out over literally nothing. So dumb. Yeah, I mean, that's literally all it's saying. So this says, LOL, bro busted himself here. I want you guys to let me know what you think. You don't understand how the PS3 works, do you? You get a different message when you try to play something that your account doesn't have the license for. Yeah. And he's like, yes, but the whole point of the original post is we lost access so that the account, to that account, because Sony deleted it and we can't play games that are downloaded onto the console. Yes, I'm sure we're signing into that account. We'll fix it, but we can't. Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, 100%. But it doesn't say that you can't play the game. It's basically saying you need to go change the time and settings. I don't know, like, with posts like this, it's like you're gonna have to show more. It's kind of weird, guys. I want you guys to let me know what you actually think about this. And nobody's coming. I don't see nobody coming here necessarily to defend Sony. They're trying to find out if this guy is lying or not. That's different. Now, saying that you should have a time limit on your license is another thing. I think that once you buy a game digitally, you should always own it. You know what I mean? And no matter what, you should just go in there and play it. It doesn't really matter. But obviously, there is a time limit that they want on there. So that's definitely there. Let's keep reading. He says, okay, but Sony literally gives you a 6-month grace period after 3 years and tries to contact you multiple times before deleting the account. If what you said is true, that's on you. True, but still, I think that they should, like, if you come back and you're like, hey, I'm here, and send them an email, they should activate the license. Or maybe just leave the account alone. Sure, that would 100% be better, and I'm honest. I don't know why Sony is doing this either. Even if they did it, like with the removing digital games thing, they can technically do it, but haven't ever done it in 20 years. Yeah, I get what he's saying. Then we got the leave the multi-billion-dollar company alone if you're coming to defend them. Sure. This guy says that's the CBOMB lockout. You can resolve it by connecting to the internet and updating the clock. That's what I was saying. Essentially, the clock battery inside the PS3 died. It says, don't worry, no need for proof. We believe you, given how crappy PlayStation has become in recent years. I mean, that's true, but you have to still dive in and see if this guy is telling the truth or not. Because in the internet today, a lot of stuff is fake, I'm telling you. So he could say his brother's account got deleted. But I don't know, man. Why would they not delete the games with it? How could you still have the games if the account is deleted? I didn't know you could do that. I don't know, because I don't share accounts with people. So that's kind of strange to me. So this guy says, try to set your system clock via internet, please, as the error tells you. You don't need a profile for that. And if it works, try to get Sony to fix the CMOS issues and with how much traction your post is getting. Thanks. And this guy right here is correct. That's what I'm saying. That's all it was. So if you go and set that, you should be fine. It's right here. This guy says, I can play my games offline on my dad's profile who has no PSN account. There's somebody who replied to him, by the way. Says, I can play my games offline on my dad's profile who has no PSN account. Even if it checks for my profile, how should an offline console know if it's still legit? All it checks is the purchase date, and if the system clock can be set via the internet without profile, it works correctly. And he's going to prove that right here. This is stuff to find out, guys, so that we can know what's actually going on here. Because I know a lot of people are probably worried about this because the PS3 store will be shut down eventually. Okay, so it's an Ethernet cable. It's not connected. We see that. He's not signed up to PlayStation. He has games right there. So, yeah, that means that guy's probably lying. You gotta be careful with the internet today. He's on a game. He didn't have a PlayStation Pro sign-in. So he's on his dad's profile offline. That is right there in front of you. All AGN is doing is looking for proof here, whether this guy's lying or not, and is there other options here? Screw all the likes. That's all always fake, and you can bot that. You have to really be careful with that on Twitter. Because a lot of people bot their likes, so it's like, that doesn't mean anything. Now he's going to PS2. He's going to God Hand. And he's going right on it. It's not telling him that. He's saying that because he doesn't have his account, he can't get to it. But this guy's saying he's offline without even being signed in on his dad's profile who has no PSN account. I think he's busted, y'all. Well, the proof is right here. This is what I'm saying. The PlayStation hate online, so, you have to be careful with fake hate. I'm going to say I don't believe this guy. But obviously, we know that if you don't sign in the PlayStation Network for 36 months, then everything is gone and deleted. And they even said your games. So the fact that he has his games means that he's lying. Just because you bought a game in 2010 does not mean you've been offline for over 36 months. It just means that you bought it during that time. Because it says that the games will be deleted, right? That's what it said. And he even says, this is still a massive issue, by the way. You have to swap the CMOS every 10 years or have the console constantly connected to the internet and hope for the time settings to stay up forever. It's just not a problem of license being revoked, but a broken license check. We're giving you facts on this channel and finding proof here. So you see what he said right there, right? This is why this type of stuff right here needs to be brought up. So it gets very interesting. This guy says this is caused by CBOMB. When the CMOS battery dies, the DRM kicks in, removing access to digital products, as well as reverting themes back to default and renders DLCs unusable. The issue was addressed for the PS4 and PS5, but Sony still refuses to deal with the PS3 if you care to spread the word. So here it is right here. It's a CBOMB aspect, right? This guy says, not saying you're lying, and yes, this is the internet, but if you want people to really believe, you got to show proof of also trying to sign into that account you believe is deleted. You didn't do that, though. So this guy says, if you're not signed in, you can't verify your license. Without those licenses, you can't play your games. His fault for not keeping his account updated with PS4 or PS5. This guy's calls him a poser. 10 years without even touching a PS3 and now act like you give a crap about any of those games. Second, you've always had to be signed into your account in order to play digital games. That's why I said, this guy says, may not need to sign in, but connect it to the internet to see if you can renew license. Not a PlayStation guy, just my free 2 cents. If that's what's true, what happened to him. But that guy is not even signed in on his dad's account and he's playing those games. Interesting stuff. So I guess as for the account part, Sony made a new requirement for old accounts on PS3. You need to sign into the account via PlayStation website. Then from settings, make a new temporary password to activate the account again. And these are all the options we have here. If anybody's dealing with this, Here you go. This video right here. Go to this guy's post on Twitter. This is your account. CRY3NO. Read the thread. You may have some answers here. Or I'm pretty sure Google or AI has it as well too. So let me know what you guys actually think about this. Become a member. Leave a tip down below. Like, comment, subscribe. Just bring you some more interesting content here. Later, y'all. Keep on gaming.